Thanks for joining us on the That's Rather Cavalier podcast. Before we get to it, make sure you follow us wherever you get your audio podcast. Just search FFSN, That's Rather Cavalier. Give us a 5-star rating on Apple and Spotify. Also, check out our Cavs shorts on the Know It All's YouTube channel. Now let's get to it. Cleveland Cavalier fans, thanks for joining us for another edition of That's Rather Cavalier podcast. I'm your host, Tate, here by myself today. Before I get started, be sure to follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify or wherever you get your audio podcasts from. But in today's podcast, like I say, I'm solo, no Big G, no BP, no Relly. I just wanted to come on and give you my instant reaction on what we're going to call this episode, the Emoni Bates experiment. So last night was the NBA draft. The Cavs drafted pick number 49. And when pick 49 came around, when I was watching, I was in between taking Trace Davis from Indiana, just to be a kind of a backup big along with Evan Mobley's brother, Isaiah Mobley. First of all, I wanted Emoni Bates at pick 49, but I could have went either way. So Emoni Bates, let's talk about Emoni Bates real quick. Emoni Bates was the number 1 overall high school prospect coming out of high school in 2021. Emoni Bates was 2 times AP Division I Player of the Year out of high school. He's a McDonald's All-American, a 5-star recruit. He's 6'9", 185 pounds. He needs to put on weight. He can get his own shot. He's not highly athletic. He can get his own shot. He shot 40% from the field last year. He's playing for a bad Eastern Michigan team where he was taking ill-advised shots. Let's just say it like it is. He was taking ill-advised shots. He shot, I think, 33% from three-point range. A lot of those contested. No, not really many clean looks for him because he was the guy on the team defenses tried to stop. He got in some trouble. First, let's say he went to Memphis his first year. He didn't live up to all the hype and expectations in Memphis his first year. But so then he transferred closer to home to Eastern Michigan. He was all MAC conference his second year at Eastern Michigan. But because he got in trouble, a gun charge, I believe he had a weapon in his car. So he did get in trouble. Not any jail time or anything like that. Just, I believe, probation in court. So the Cavs are taking a flyer. And I like the Cavs doing this because it's taking a flyer on a potential high ceiling guy that's still young. I believe Emoni Bates is 19, will be 20. Really good player with a lot of potential. And he brings everything the Cavs don't have. They don't have a 6'9" wing. They don't have somebody that can create 3-point shots off the dribble in the front court. I mean, Chetty's more of a spot-up shooter. Dean Wade's a spot-up shooter. I feel like that's all they have in the front court. They even have the potential. But let's break this down now. The Cavs took the pick. I'm glad they took the pick. A few years ago, I wanted the Cavs to take another player. Would have been a low risk, high reward player. They took this player fell to the last pick in the lottery. Very similar attributes to Emoni Bates. Was also a high school player of the year in 2017. Averaged 36 points a game in high school. Like Emoni Bates was a McDonald's All-American. Like Emoni Bates was the best player in the country, high school. Played 1 year in college. Only like a handful of games, maybe 7 or 8 games, I feel like. Maybe 10. The Cavs in this draft, I believe it was 2018. The Cavs picked Darius Garland. No, I take that back. They picked Colin Sexton. That's what I meant to say. They picked Colin Sexton, and the player they left on the board just happened to get a max contract already. 5 years, $150 million. Coming off winning his first NBA championship. And that player we're talking about is Michael Porter Jr. for the Denver Nuggets. And, the measurables are quite similar. The path is quite similar. I mean, Michael Porter Jr. didn't do anything in college, which is why he dropped. Emoni Bates really didn't do anything in college. And with the trouble, which is why he dropped. So I think the archetype of the player, 6'9", 6'10", great three-point shooter, can get a bucket when you need it. Not the best defender, but has the length and height to be able to defend. I think that's something the culture in Cleveland can instill into Emoni Bates. I don't know if he plays right away. I think they'll sign him to a 2-way G League contract. I think you just let him play for the Canton Charge and just let him play. Just let him play as much as you can. Because after All-Star break, you want to bring him up and have him ready to semi-contribute to the team the last third of the season. I'm not saying he'll do anything and make the Cavs a contender in the playoffs more than they are. But what we didn't have last year in the series against the New York Knicks, we didn't have a player that could stretch the floor in the front court, that could stretch the floor or go get a bucket. Maybe he comes in. I'm not suggesting he play crunch time. I'm suggesting he plays in parts of the game where it's okay to play a young guy, let him get up some shots, see how he does, and go from there. I mean, so I don't know what other offseason moves the Cavs plan to make. I think they need to make some moves. This is not a complete team. We can't just go in and add Emoni Bates and go back like we were last year. I like the idea of trying to trade Jared Allen. I really don't have the exact framework of a trade. I just think you got to shake something up. Donovan Mitchell tweeted out and welcomed Emoni Bates to the team. Said, let's get it. I think that's a good sign. Sounds like Donovan Mitchell's invested in his teammates, the young Cavs. So I'd like to see the Cavs make a move. Like I say, Jared Allen preferably. If you got to trade Chetty or Lamar Stevens or Rubio or even Okoro. You trade those pieces and try and make a move. So yeah, this is basically my quick take on Emoni Bates going to the Cavs with pick 49. He's a comp to Michael Porter Jr., the NBA champion for the Denver Nuggets. Thanks for joining us on That's Rather Cavalier. Be sure to follow on Apple Podcasts and Spotify or wherever you get your audio podcasts. Like and subscribe. We'll be back probably sometime this weekend or on Monday with Big G, BP, and the rest of the crew. Thank you for joining me. Your homie Tate is out. Peace.